This this is
And we are live. So I'm gonna wait for you to put your uniform.
all right. Just how we
So
go. Put your uniform right here.
ayan. May
That's it.
bandera kayo. May
Now
bandera
you
kayo sa ano.
yeah, uniform is on. Let's go in.
Yeah, so welcome here at FMA Discussion, and this is episode 125 with Garpuno Abundio Salazar Baet
There
from
you go.
Paite, Laguna, and he's also the GM and head of Gat
No, no
Arnis.
GM.
Gat
No
Puno,
GM.
yeah, Gat Puno, Garimont Arnis. Because back in the day in the Philippines, we should just kind of break it down. Gat Puno is like
So,
the head, because Puno means tree,
yep.
right? And so we no longer really use that term. It was repopularized back from the 1970s by sino ba nagpauso uli nun?
Mayor Villegas.
Right, right.
Artin.
But it was for the most part like kind of like a dead term. It was an archaic Tagalog term that no
That's
one
right.
used anymore.
It came from the word ugat. It means the root.
The root, exactly.
Yeah, ugat.
Brian, hello as well. Hello, and I'm sorry we're doing it early. We're just afraid that we were gonna
Gonna
experience
lose.
more technical difficulty. So while we had everything working, then we
Yep.
might as well have it go. And
Yep.
so I really enjoy. And so let's start now because this is probably going to be a very long conversation. So we come from kind of like the same general area, at least half of me anyway, because I'm half Timuca Tagalugan from Batangas. Then one of my styles that I practice is from Laguna. So tell us about your childhood. Tell us about the origins of you learning the style,
Oh
and you
my
can go
God.
over the history of Hook and the Katipunan links
Yes.
in
I started when 1969 with my grandfather, but I don't remember much because we are three apo that we used to do. But when he
there's three.
died on 1970, my dad picked up the class. Oh, he teach me. Apparently, he talked to my dad. He said that I have a good grasp on the art, and my dad don't want it because I'm hot-headed kid. I hit other kids if I get pissed off.
So
So
let's give them a general background of that of why that's the case. In some families, sometimes they don't teach the child; it skips a generation
yeah,
because the old way, if your kid is a hothead or you see him becoming a part of the criminal element, they won't teach them eskrima.
no,
That's what happened in my family. My dad doesn't know anything. The
yeah.
only Arnis he know, he learned modern Arnis in college with Ernie in UST back in the late 70s.
Ernesto Presas,
Yeah,
yes.
and that's the only Arnis he knows. He doesn't know anything else. That's the reason in families it was very specific like that, where they don't share it to their children that they think is not good for the art.
Yeah.
Continue, sir.
Well, later on, my dad realized that the reason why they need to teach me is to control that anger, the anger management. I have to learn how to control that anger. I was actually I have to wait for another year to be back to school because I was expelled the first day of the class when I was seven. We start 7 years old in first grade, remember? And
Yeah.
I was in first day at school. I went into the school and the big kid is throwing a ball of papers on me, and just turn around and grab his hair. I give him warning though. I give him three warning. I call the teacher, and then he don't follow what I told him. I grab his hair and hit it on the desk, open his head on, and the principal said that I'm too violent. He cannot accept me in the class. All the kids in the school is afraid of me already. So I have to wait 1 year. They brought me back when I was eight. So and then the kids that I hated and the other kids talk about me right away. Said that's the kid last year. So that's how they start. And it's a really tough life because growing up to I'm next to school. My house is practically next to school. All I need to do is cross the fence, and then I'm at school already in Paete. But that's carry over. Every kids in the school is one. Oh, see if you can beat that kid. If you can beat that kid, then I will, we will be your friend. So I've become topic of all of the bullies because I'm the kids to beat. So and my dad start teaching me to and make me promise that I won't use it in fight, and I never use it in fight until the day that you know I have to, what I mean, because my dad said it's okay, son, to receive the first punch, but never receive the second one.
Right.
So that's how I started. Now I know. Oh, 1975, I was fifth grade. Uh, After 5 years, I'm training with my dad. He actually brought me to the group of training Arnis in town plaza, and it was noisy over there. Well, I was just he said come, and I don't go because I'm those kids that I don't want to be around with a lot of other kids, because if I'm around a lot of kids, fight happen. you know so
Yeah.
I have those tendency that if I get hit, I want to get even. I want to get even. So it's kind of scary. But my mother is telling my dad that you better save money because your kids is gonna be either in jail for the rest of his life or he's gonna be 6 feet under.
Right.
And my dad said no, he will control that because that's what I'm training him on is. And I supposed to meet him and I don't show up. Then my friend and I walking on the town, and we hear this click clack, click clack stick right behind the church because we are in the church. In fact, we are matching, fighting in town plaza right behind the police station in the Catholic church. We are kids trying to match up, fight with five, against three of us against five kids. And then when the fight's over, I said, what is that noise going on to next to municipal office? And we look at it, we climb up the building, and we saw a lot of kids training our knees. Double stick right there on the Adesi Club. So I
Doble
told,
tirada is what they call it over there. They don't call it Sinawali.
no, no,
Yeah, doble tirada. Yeah.
double o doble armas o doble
Yes,
bastón.
doble armas. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I climbed to the bench and I look at it. I saw my dad in there. So I went to the door, and the kids right in the door that one allowing kids to come in recognize me. Oh, you're the son of Maestro Piping. Yes. So they let me in, and I sat to my dad. He introduced me to all of the maestro, and the maestro, the president of the club, asked me, "You want to join them?" And I said, "Yes, I would like to try." In fact, this is modern Arnis class. It's taught by Dayang, Dayang Mirna Kadang. So he's the one who really teaching the arts, and Maestro Indu Apungul San, which is actually they're the one who administering all of their classes, and that's where I first learned the single sinawali and double sinawali, which the modern is. Because
Right.
and all I know is seven strike and moro moro, a little bit
Which
more.
which is typically in our region. You just have to explain it to them. It's a seven strike. It's a nine if it's because seven is the down, and then eight is the up, and nine is the thrust. But typically it's seven in Laguna. Explain. You can explain that to
Yeah,
them.
especially seven because there's a we have only one truss. We have only
Right.
one truss center, and we
Yep.
have six streets, but it's a different angle. It's not like typical screamer that you see that there's in the round circle that have all the asterisks. The paete has different. It's like going down, going side, then going up, then
Yeah.
going
Like.
back, and then
Yeah.
upward again, then side. So it's like cutting the person in different parts. It's like cutting right directly to the head, cutting your legs, then cutting your ribs to the collarbone, then go back to the collarbone to finish that cut because there's no blade that can cut all the way. It
Right.
doesn't really matter if you have double-handed or single-handed. And then cutting the neck is the number 6, and then thrust at the heart on number
Yeah.
7.
Unless you have like a Swyhander, the
That's
the
correct.
the big sword.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like shaped like a Z or a 7,
that's
basically,
correct. Just like
like
that.
that. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the 7 strike.
But with the 7, sometimes you even have the one in the middle. So it's like a 7. You know how when you write a 7 like this, and then you put one in the middle
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
They have some system like that over there, but somehow Paete and Lumban and San Antonio share the same 7. Then
Right.
you go to Magdalena, Mayhay, and Luciana. They're almost similar to each other.
Right.
So but still have differences, but there's similarity. Liliu has a different one, and known that Liliu is one of the oldest town. He has a
Right.
different pattern. But Lumban is actually the mother town of my town. Lumban, Laguna is the mother town of Paete. On 1610, we are part of Lumban. On
Right.
1610. Actually, Kalayaan, Laguna, and Paete is only barrio of Lumban on 1610. But we are founded, barrio, it's not the town, founded the barrio on 1580. That's how they started. So it's obvious that all of our skill is really one from Lumban to Kalayaan to Paete. Then
So
on
so you
16
started. Sorry. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, on 1659 and 1680, around that area, we are separated from Lumban, and then we are part of annex of Pangil and Pakil. We are three town: Pangil, Pakil. Pangil is the town that named after the chieftain of Laguna, which is Gat Pangil. So
Literally his name is Head Fang, because Pangil is like,
yes, yeah, but he's
like
actually the Pangil is he don't call it Pangil, it's called Pagil.
Pagil. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's supposed to be Pagil, Paguil. But because of the Laguna area, we like to put word with N or NG. It's like Lumbang. Lumban, the way pronounced Lumban is Lumbang because
Right,
of the pronunciation, the way the dialect was.
right,
So Pakil, Pakil is Pakil, and Pagil is supposed to they become Pangil because of
right.
the NG. But it's that's actually they call is Gat Pangil. So it means
So
that
so
chieftain.
your origin, you started around the time that America landed on the moon in 1969 as a kid, and then you did this 75. I'm just trying to give context to
Yes.
American timeline, right? Because a lot of our viewers are Westerners. Then your dad introduced you because it was a way for you to control, the anger. Then you learned the 7 because you learned the 7 thing. Now, describe how you're able to extend your knowledge because you train under so many people in Laguna.
Right. See, my dad don't want to join me to another maestro until he knows that I know the 7. Because most of the abecedario, it's based on that 7. So when I joined the modernist, which is they give 12, it's a little
Right,
bit confusing for me to learn. This is, Daddy, why they learn 12? And my dad said, well, that's modernist, so and I will show you R12 in the future, but not now. Just learn what it is. You see, what he wanted me to do is get the basic. Don't worry about those good, cool technique yet. Just get the basic, get the number, and practice those over and over. And then those cool technique, you can learn them, from the basic that they will teach you.
so you learned modern Arnis. You learned from the very beginning, right, directly from Remy.
Uh, I learned it from Master Black Belt, Willie Anang, Wilfredo
Ah,
Anang. This is we reported to Willie Anang. In fact, on 1975, I met Grandmaster Rodel Dago, Willie
right. Smoking
Anang,
stick,
Ortolito.
smoking. Yeah.
Yes, smoking stick. He came down to Paete on our Paete Arnes tournament on July 25 of 1975. We, as a kid, we did the demonstration, and Grandmaster Dago and Tony Tolentino and Willie Anang demonstrate also in the stage. And I was wow, it's beautiful. But my dad said, don't get so excited on the beautiful or the beauty of the art. Look at the effectiveness,
Yeah.
because those is show. But when I look at it and I said, wow, that's cool. Then I learned directly one to four anyo, because Willie Anang and Boy Tolentino left behind for 2 nights in Presti Baldimore's house, ancestral home, which is the president now of Centurion. Grandmaster Rodel de Gook, he might not forget, he might not remember, but I told him that I'm one of the kid that he taught Anyo 1 to 4 in the house of Baltimore Place. I'm one of the kids. But among the kids, I'm the only one who come up, because
So
there's a
Doi Baldemore, for those who don't know, he's basically like the top guy in that. He's the one that heads the Centurion Club right now in Paite, correct?
no, that's not Doi. Doi Baltimore is my sparring, my dad student that become my buddy.
Mm,
On term of promoting and keeping the art alive in Paete.
right.
He's the maestro right now of Paete Arnis Federation under Garimont Arnis Training International. But he has his own thing, because he study among a lot of maestro, maybe more than I study, because he's about, I would say, it's about 7 years older than me. So on 1970s, he's already joining the Centurion. In 1970s, he already.
Give them a breakdown of, because they have no concept of what the Centurion is. It just happened essentially 2 days ago. If we didn't have the pandemic, on Good
Yeah.
Friday, so explain to them what the Centurion tradition is,
All right, just
and the
listen.
Moro Moro tradition. Yeah.
Yeah, 16. Actually, the Centurion tradition in in Paete itself, it's look like the Moriones from Marinduque,
Right.
but the different is the Centurion in Paete. It's actually administered by all Escrimador. They use the art, they use the show, the Sinacolo, which is the Passion of the Christ. They use that in a platform to preserve the Arnis, and it's been in the province. It's been in the province. I mean, I don't want to say it's Paete, because it's all over the Laguna area.
Right.
Mount Banahaw is there, and every town has their own pingas, which is crosses on the top of the cross, on top of the cross of the mountain, I mean. So the reason why they hide it there, because nobody would see it, nobody would understand. They thought it's just a show, the same thing as the Moro Moro. So this is the streets version of Moro Moro, which really portraying Jesus Christ's crucifixion and the battle of Centurion between Jesus Christ's clothes. So they, in term of the because when Jesus Christ thing, the Moriones, actually those centurions, already saying, okay, who would like to have a piece of the clothes, because they tear that clothes apart, and they put into a form of a battle. Who can beat me, then they can get the clothes with me. And usually Marco and Longino, which is the blind guy that Jesus Christ put the miracles in. Marco is the one that Saint Peter cut his ears. Then Jesus Christ also healed them, so it become believer.
So let me
And
just break it down to the Westerners, because they're not going to really understand. So this is basically a theater play that they play in the town center, but
that's
it's extended throughout the town because they do it ad hoc. They
yeah,
dress in the clothes of a centurion and with a requisite mask that only has one expression. It's kind
yeah,
of funny when you look at it, right?
yeah,
The what you're talking about is Longinus,
yeah.
because supposedly he's the one who speared Christ, the spear of
That's
Longinus, right? And then the other guy is the one that can't hear, like the deaf issue, correct? That was
yeah.
given, yes. And so those are the two guys supposedly that fought to get the
Just
remnants of
clothes.
Jesus's clothes during, in the cross essentially.
That's
But
correct.
go ahead, continue. Because it's basically a theater play, and then they just act it out, like, with the town, and then they have a specific etiquette on what to do when they want to spar with each other. But go
Yeah,
ahead.
and the timeline of when they started it, nobody can even tell us because they was born with it. They was born, they see it already. Me, I was born seeing it already like that. And every time I ask the old people when they started, they cannot give me a specific timeline when they started it because there's no specific record that they're saying, oh, they started in 1600, they started in 1700. At least the Eskrima, the fencing, they have a record that in 1700, Paete is a center of fencing tournament, and that's a record. That's how I teach Siete Generales. Now, it's the remnant of that is fencing tournament in the Paete. I
The,
got
the,
lucky because I was in charge. In charge, the Mason and the Knight of Columbus, they're all practice fencing and Scrima. So that's how I started it, that knowing about that there's a form of fencing in Paete, and they said yes. I said, in fact, I learned it from the old sacristan, which is the helper of the church. If you heard
yeah.
sacristan, yeah, which is
Mhm.
one of the famous sacristan in Paete is Palatino, and they call him Cato Palatino, which is 12 pares practitioner and the siete colores, the siete generales escrima master.
Let's just separate, because I know so many people are going to be offended because they don't know their Philippine history. There's different doce pares from Cebu and doce pares in Laguna. So kind
Thank
of
you.
explain to them. We don't want to, any fights on, flame wars here. You know what I mean? Everybody's
Yeah,
bladed.
in 12 Paris is actually the old show of the Moro Moro that was introduced to Manila via Manila Capulco Galleon on 1637. 1610, they started introducing, but nobody really understand it because the one who's showing is the priors. But
Yeah.
1610, actually, the Filipino accepted the 1637, and that's walk from Manila through toward the east and north and west, so of Luzon, and then they spread it out up to Visayan area, and up to this day there's some remnant of all Moro, Zarzuela, corridos on all of this
In
show.
in my in my region in Bulacan, that it was in Bustos, and it just died very recently. They just stopped performing it like very recently, within like the last 10 years or so. So
In Paete and Pakil still have a lot of players. In Pakil, he's never died because every festivities of Turumba or Virgen Maria, they have uh, uh, this zarzuela or comedia. Now it changed to word comedia rather than moro moro. But moro moro is in term used the whole Philippines. And every town or every province changed the name. And seems like Laguna and Quezon and Rizal use the word comedia and
yeah,
zarzuela. Yeah. Why? Because they have two uh, jokers in the show that keep the peoples awake. The they call
like like a court jester,
that's correct.
kind. Yeah.
The gesture and the there's two of them, Posong and the clown. So that's how the show started. And in Laguna, to be exact, the record is 1637 in Manila reached Paete on 1700 also, around early 700 or late 1600. They reach
Right.
Paete, and all Paeteño is very artistic. They're very articulate in things because they come to Paete to ask to make some sort of what they call that uh, show crops, to use it on the show, like shield, sword, uh, mask, or anything that they could use, even the tiger that's moving tiger that goes to the show. That's what's made in Paete, and then Lumban next to us, the mother town of Paete, is very famous on making Barong Tagalog and all of those different clothing that they use. That's a very gallant, gallant clothing that they use for Moromoro. So that's how they comes, and they keep that in the town. So using all of those trappings, that they put it on the hand, colorful with the sometimes he calls palatok, the one they use on the rank on the military, that they put it on the hands. That's how the arnes work. That's what the word arnes is.
Hand harness,
The
yes.
hand
Yeah.
harness, and then there's a
Yeah.
chest
Yeah.
harness, and then
Right.
and then there's that's the word arnes came from. That's why called arnes de mano, which is the hand, the harness of the hand. It's not literally the blade or the stick, but
Right.
later on, the Filipino, the one that non practitioner taught. This is the non practitioner call it the stick, the brukil already is
Right.
the arnes.
Right.
So that's how it become. And so much in it that everybody's putting what they call it, meaning of where the word came from. But we're not blind. You can see it where it came from. That's the show, or the actors and the actress we're harnessed from here and here, and the body, because we're using real blade, real
Right.
metal, real
Yeah.
sword, real metal. Here we go, real metal. When we are perform, this is what we use for our moromoro. On the show. This is so it's not, because if you are gonna make a show and you show the sword fighting and you're using wood, everybody laughed.
Right.
What the heck is that? That's a kids play.
Right.
So the one that make it fun is the metal cleansing in there, but it's not sharp. It's not sharp. It's just, and then they hit plat and plat, not blade to blade, just to make a spark. And plus the sign and the bayimbing, the sound of the chimes that we use on the knee, and it sound like interesting. Plus the music, so it's like the music is actually the sound like Mexican music. The
Right.
pa doble that
Well, I
Mexican.
mean, it comes from Galleon Habanera. Like
Thank
it's
you.
a Galleon music. I'm
That's
sorry, I don't care if people get pissed off, but that's really where it came from.
that's
The
correct.
in When you're growing up as a kid up to the 1960s, there were still Spanish language stations in the Philippines, and essentially it is very similar to what would later become bolero music
Yeah,
because
that's exactly what it is.
yeah,
Because we
that's the
have
go
we
ahead,
have a
continue.
Bolero club in Paete. My dad is a member of the Bolero club.
Yes, tanto tiempo disfrutamos de este amor.
Or
Yeah, sabor a mí, right? Yeah, very similar. Or like es la
this is
historia de un amor,
this is what we call baimbing.
Right.
This is what we use in the knee, and sometimes all the sword they put this. This is actually a bayimbing of my grandfather. Pass it to my dad, and now it's with me. You
Right.
see, it's different than any bayimbing that you will find in the market. You see, the one you buy, I buy some of these in New York, $4 a piece, and look at the sound. This is our natural music. When we
Right.
are in the street, most centurion, we're one of these, to their knee and to their ankle. So when they do the carenza, they have their own rhythmic music plus the
Right.
stick sound. It's really cool to hear, you know.
In
And
ma-
when
in
I
ma- in
was
many ways, the tradition, because you were going to talk about it later, because you're going to sing for
yes,
us.
yes,
Um, in many ways, the Kundiman or Harana tradition in the Philippines also came from that. It's just a
that's
slowed down It's just a slowed down version of bolero, essentially.
thank
Just
you.
a
That's all of those is
much
connected.
all of us connected, yeah. And I really don't care if people get pissed off at me online. I mean, like you guys can spar with me at FMA Festival next year. I'll be back
it's
home.
it's fine, and
You
and,
know,
and remember the dance. The dance is most of the dance that was show is also came from Moromoro because it was using on that, and then they use some in the festivities like the bolero thing.
right?
I don't know, in the Philippines, there's so many folk dances that every Every town has their own, even local. Then they have their regional. Then they have provincial. You know, so you cannot just claim it that one dance represent the FMA.
Right.
Yeah, because said, oh yeah, this dance is created because of the FMA. It's nice sound, it's good claim, but it's you go back and he said what how much actually on the dance is FMA? Maybe not even 1%.
Yeah, yeah, maybe not even 1%.
Let's go back, say, all right, you see the pandango sa ilaw, that's an FMA, that's escaping from the hold. Oh, I can escape without turning my head. Why I have to do that? Oh, yeah. I go right here. Itik itik. Yeah, I can. This is the break. I grab the hand and I break it. Or I can hold it right here and just break it like that. Why I have to do this? Because this one is not a break. But anyway,
Yeah.
just to be politically correct, I don't want to be sound like I'm disregarding their claim. I'm just saying is maybe okay. Let's put 5% of the claim that may be right, like maglalatik. Maglalatik is actually, and the sabong is actually a combat porn. You know,
Right.
because before the fight you want to condition yourself, and every part of the part that they hit in maglalatik is all functional form, functional body. Why? They're trying to hit their knee, warm up the knee, warm up the chest, chop the back,
It's
and
like a
then hit
haka.
up. Yeah,
It's like
and
a
their
haka. Yeah.
that's right, and their
Right.
kidneys. That's all the free combat dance. You see, you can do it one because we dance that all the time, or we can do
Right.
it twice. You know what I mean? So
Right. Right.
every time we do that, and then the whole thing, then at the end they have tumbling and everything else, right? So that's probably, I would say, 80% of those is all combative or martial art things. But the whole form of the Moro Moro is combat. The dance, the battle dance is all combat. From the beginning to an end is combat. 100% is combat. The music and everything else is just make it sound so good, but the sparring, the whole thing, the glancing of the sword is actually close to reality. Why? Because if you don't block, or if you don't evade, or you don't even them up, you're gonna get hit, because there's some
Give us, give
player.
us, give us the combat etiquette. So because you're gonna go over that right now. So
That's
give us the
correct.
etiquette on and a certain coded language when you want to spar with someone, and what you do during that night of Good Friday. Unfortunately, because of the coronavirus, you guys weren't able to do it. This year.
You see what it is the first movement of the sword. When you do combat, you always have to get the platform of papugay, or the a courtesy, right? Right here, and then you have the challenge right away here. This is your challenge, ready to challenge. And then from there you have to dance, and then acceptance. In our language, acceptance is under the arm. The challenge is right above the arm. The column, which is, you see Bilya use, the Serrada use,
In that famous photo,
and the
yes.
famous photo. That's what right here. Those is actually rules. It's actually a rules of engagement. And then from here, light touch. If you see it, no touching, it means no touch, just demonstration. But you see it light touch right here, it means just barely touching. But when they drop it like that, it means hard stop. And then from here, the question is, we're talking. See that? From challenge, from talking, right? It says, okay, from here, from neck up, and then they will go to X. It means no. It means no. Bam, boom. And then from neck down, it means yes. They're pushing it like this. Yes. Rules. Light touch, would you accept it? And then the person of that, whatever you show, has to be repeated. If he understands the costume, he will repeat it. He will challenge the acceptance. Here we go. This is it right here. This is the same way. He will go to the challenge the first, and then he acceptance, and then go back to the rules. You see, light touch, and I accepted, and then they go for it. Boom, and then they start dancing first, carenza side by side from the par to the close. And then when they go to the close, they start charging each other. And there's no pattern. I strike, you block. Oh, you block, I strike. Or there's no blocking at all. You guys just completely sparring right there, pre-form. It's unlike the Moromoro that there's a pre-arranged sparring. It's a
Right.
pre-arranged combat dance. That have from the beginning there's a beginners. 1, 2, 3 is the beginners. 1, 2, 5 is the advance. To the second layer of the advance, and then 1 to 8 is the intermediate, and then the maestro start to go to 1 to 10, and then from 11 to 15 you're learning the cerrado, which is the close range, and then from cerrado, from 16 to 20 you're learning largo mano. This is really artistic form of how to sway a weapon and hit the guy without getting hit, which in the form of dance. And I can demonstrate 1 to 30, which is by the way, it's a 30 dances. And 1 to 20 is the very basic, and then the 21 to 30 is a combination of both. The only much difference is the bridge. In number 1 to 10, the bridge is outside, which is, if I'm righty, is right there on the left. I'm gonna be right here. My right is gonna be on my opponent. But if I am lefty, then you are gonna be actually same way. You fight the same way with the right. You cannot choose. Oh, I'm a lefty, let me fight with the left. No, no, no. You gotta fight the same way, because nobody can really say who would fight. You know, you have to learn how to adjust yourself. And then on the 11 to 20, we work on the bridge inside, which is the danger zone. That's why the abanico movement from the inside to cover up your shield, your remember word
Yeah.
shield.
Yeah. Right.
Shield every from head to toe to make sure that the blade won't touch you as you
So
go close in.
yeah. So let me, because they have no context of what we're talking about.
Yeah.
When they get to essentially, what's the word that you use? What's the word that you use for the range? No,
Range.
no, for the danger zone. For the danger zone.
Oh, danger
You,
zone. Yeah, that's bridge.
yeah. So the bridge essentially is basically kind of the transition between medio and corto range.
That's
But
correct.
the reason why they do that, like when they get it, they do a pose, and then you see them kind of whirling the stick around, because they're covering all their vulnerable areas, so that if you decide to engage, meaning like lunge at them, you're gonna get smacked with a stick.
With the
Or
stick.
well,
Oh,
it's not a
blade.
stick, it's really a blade. Yeah. Yeah. So those aren't doing it for willy nilly. There's a particular purpose of like blocking, because that's your shield. You're you're
That's
you're 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 blocking high line, low line, midline,
line. That's
and
correct.
so they can't engage you now on that medio corto transition range. You know. So
That's
continue.
that's so so that's actually the whole scenario on the Moromoro. And so many times we forget that Moromoro is a complete system, and a lot of people, since there's no knowledge about Moromoro, they think it's just a piece and bits and pieces. I can assure you, it's a complete system. The first curriculum of Arnis ever organized. The whole show is really not just coincidence. It's really well planned. You know what I mean? It's a well planned. They teach you the relosteros, which is came from the relos, watch clock. Everybody talk about clock system. But the clock system that I teach is not totally different than any clock system I see, because I see three systems that teach clock system. Pigita Tertius teach clock system, Billy Brill teach clock system, and another system that the what they call that the not the campo from Bisaya. There's another the campo from Panay that's also teach clock system. So those is the three system that I see that use clock and totally different than I use the clock. Every clock that I'm talking about is, I can read you as a clock, because that's how they do in coaching. Okay, hit them in 12 o'clock. It's like military, military type of thing. It's totally the same. because it's all of this is actually based for military thing because it came from Europe.
Right.
Doce Pares is who's the show in the Doce Pares? Charlie Maine. Charlie Maine is the
Yeah.
greatest general that become that become what they are Pope yeah, of Rome.
Emperor. Yeah.
Emperor.
Emperor.
There we go. That's the
Yeah.
word I'm
Yeah.
looking for. Emperor of Rome. Back on the 5th and 7th century to 8th century. He
He's
become king
basically
of
the medieval version of Alexander, essentially. Yeah.
he's become the king of Germany. So those is the show. Those is the show of Doce Pares.
Right.
Doce Pares de Francia.
So,
Is
because
actually
that's the thing is like a lot of people are offended by what we're saying is like, but that's the history books.
that's
Like
it. That,
the those Pirates, like when you talk about that and when you talk about the clock system, it came from Europe because they learned it from Egypt. Like,
thank you.
I mean, because obviously they went through like the Dark Ages, and then they relearned it from the records that they had from the Moors,
That's correct.
to get the Renaissance. But like
Mhm.
people are offended by that because it's more to them. It's more romantic if it came organically. To them,
Eh,
it's more romantic if it's like if it's a 2,000 3,000 year old thing, unbroken lineage kind of thing. No, it's more dynamic. This story that we're talking about is even more dynamic than your romanticized history.
yeah,
So
this is not romanticized. This is the true story.
right,
And you can see it, the things. I was once fell in love with Roland. That's my name.
Dantes.
No,
Oh,
remember
Roland. Oh, Roland. Yeah. The knight.
Roland, the
Yeah,
lovers of Charlemagne,
yeah,
which
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah, yeah.
one of his greatest knight. That's
Right,
his right hand. That
right.
he was sent to Portugal to to fight the Moors. And guess what? He was killed over there. That's why the Song of Roland was made. Remember the Song of Roland, because that is the serenade to what Roland died because Charlemagne was really hurt because that's his lovers. Remember when you were a soldier back then. This is not about gay thing. This is not about LGBT. This is true story that when you are at war and you don't have woman, this is what happened.
Yeah,
You
that's
know.
what happened back then. Yeah, yeah. They will not acknowledge that, but that
Yeah.
really is.
So
Yeah.
I'm not just to clarify the things. This is nothing to do with all of this thing. We don't want to offend anybody.
Right.
I personally I'm sorry if I offended, but I have to tell the story, the true story of it. And my name is Rolando Abundio, and my
Oh, so
dad named,
you're Roland. You're Roland.
yes,
They
that's
named
why
you
my
after
dad
Roland.
named me to Rolando because of Charles of the night.
Right.
Because of the one of Charlie Main's greatest night. So I'm
Right.
Roland. I'm Rolando. And my dad was saying that oh, this is one thing. Let's go back out. When I was born, my dad put a pencil, oracion, and two pin, and two coins, you know, on my inunan. You know what what they call that, the oh shit, I forget
The
the things
pillow,
on.
pillow.
Yeah, the pillow that you sleep in inside the womb.
The,
You know,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I forgot
placenta.
what it's placenta, placenta.
Placenta.
Yeah,
Yeah,
placenta.
that
Yeah.
placenta. When the woman's birth that placenta in the Philippines, especially the Escrimador, they bury them with stick, knife, whatever they can think. But my dad buried them with pencil, notebook, pennies, the coins, and
Hmm.
pin. And I said, what is that pin for? I said, my dad pin. So you are going to be very, very precise, you know, on what you want to do in life.
Believe it or not. So I'm just gonna tell you this.
Yeah.
That tradition is preserved even in some European families today. A girl
Okay.
that I dated,
Yeah.
she just gave birth recently. Not my kid,
Yeah.
but she buried her placenta, and it, to underneath a tree. It's like a
Yeah,
small tree.
to live.
That's a yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So that's not just a tradition between Filipinos.
yeah,
It's like a European thing as well. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we got it from them or something, or maybe it's just a universal thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
probably. But that's what my dad. This is what he buried it when I was born. And he, remember in America they give cigarette, what they call that, tobacco. If you have a boy, they give tobacco to all of their friend. You know, my dad, when I was born, my dad get rice. If it's a friend of him got a bundle of rice because a boy was born. It's a gift, of life, because the rice is a sign of life in the Philippines. Because with no rice, we are unhappy.
That's why we're all diabetic, man.
All right, let's go back to the show. The whole spectrum of the show is to preserve. In the beginning, is actually not Arnis. It's just probably a certain region only accepted and analyzed it and said, man, we can put actually art in here. Because I I don't know if you know that there's no record that the Spanish banned the fighting arts of the Philippines. Zero.
Yeah,
There's
never
no
happened.
record. There's no saying that they banned the practice art of the Philippines. But there's some record that they said the Filipino was convinced by the Spanish not to practice any more hunting arts nor fighting arts. Why? Because they're already there to govern, and there's already soldier to protect them. And
Right.
there's already, you don't need to practice hunting because they were teaching them to the modern way of cultivating soil to get their food, a daily food every day.
This is what people don't understand. If you read like the books from the 16th century around the time, there's still elephants in the Philippines when the Spaniards came.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
mean, there
And I
was
was
still big flora and fauna. You know what I mean? So go continue. Megafauna.
I, on 1993 in Eskrima Digest, when I start coming out with the Harimau Buno, I learned it from my dad. My dad, he called it Harimau Buno. And my dad never explained to me where he got the name. He went to Panay, he went to Mindoro for 4 years and married a Mangyans over there. And then he worked in the Basnig. Basnig is the fishing vessel that
What?
travel from
I'm sorry. I did. Your dad married a Mangyan? No, I'm sorry. I
Mangyan.
didn't get
Yes,
that. Your
yes,
dad did?
yes. My dad did.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, my dad on 1947, my dad married a Mangyans, the head of the tribe's daughter, which is
They're
the
they're
yeah
cute.
the princess, the princess. My dad, they don't call it princess. They just get the panganay na anak,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Ng apo nila, nung kanilang leaders. So my dad really learned Buno, actually the Mangyan's hunting arts, not the wrestling, not the wrestling that everybody think, that just pushing in. They learned the hunting arts because Mangyan up to that day is still believe on just cultivating yam and hunting.
Yeah.
This,
Hunter
the same,
gatherer.
that's right, and the same thing as the Aita, which is my grandfather married an Aita in Umiray, Quezon. But she died. That's why my grandfather thing, and my dad's case, my dad escaped because he thought that he was enamored, or he was what they call that, uh, what they call this, see that Tagalog na ako, nalilimutan ko pa,
No, it's okay. Enamored, yung minamahal. Ano po?
no, 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 enamored is the if I like you to fall in love with me, I will.
Harana. Harana.
No,
What?
no, no. It's
Oh, it's a spell?
agreement. Agreement,
A
like
spell, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
charming.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
or like an orasyon to charm
yeah,
them to
yeah.
fall
To
fall for
charming.
you.
what they have
Yeah.
called that. Yeah, we have name for that. See, being here too long and not talking to Tagalog people, I forget you. Plus, I'm
Yeah.
getting, you know, you know what I mean. So that's how it is. And then the grandfather was said that won the Aitas and the Mangyans hunting tournament, which is form of wrestling on the things. That's what. And my grandfather told the two men from Mindoro that one day he will send my one of his son in Mindoro, and that's what my dad went in Mindoro, and he start learning the Buno over there. He don't call it Buno, he just call it Harimau. By the the elders, that has his learning. And wherever he learned it in Indonesia. I don't know, because on 1993 I was questioned. He said, "There's no tiger in the Philippines." I said,
Yeah, there is.
I saw
Well, there
tiger in the
was.
Philippines. Yeah, I
There
saw.
was.
I
There
said
was.
I went to Manila Zoo and I saw a lot of tiger in there.
And probably, in the Spanish times there was. I mean, they were still big. There's still elephants. By the
Yeah,
time they came. So
yeah, and
yeah.
they call and I don't even know it's a tiger. Be honest with you, when I learned it tiger is when I'm already 22. My dad told
Right.
me it's a tiger, meaning tiger, and I
Well,
came here.
but it's very telling, right? Because our word for monster is
Is
halimau,
Garimont. That's
which
correct.
is a tiger is a monster.
That's a
Like
monster. Yeah,
yeah,
and that's what I think. But I leave it like that, and then I said, all right. So just to uh, forget about attacking me with that I copied from Indonesia, I removed the harimau. I just put that as a reference. I call now Garimot Buno, and they stop asking me question about that thing. So now you know that part. On 1950, my dad went home. My dad after being away for 6 years, or 1950, yeah, 1950, being away for 5 years, went to Mindoro, went to Bataan, went to Panay, and everywhere else he went. He even went to Cavite because he's trying to go to Mindoro without paying anything to the boat. And Sangle has a boat going to Mindoro. Bataan has a port that going to Mindoro. Quezon has port going to Mindoro. So my dad went all of this town, even in Batangas, they're going to Mindoro. The reason why my dad went in there to get a free ride to go to Mindoro because he has no money. He's working for living. so, so he said, "Why your dad's go?" No, he's just happened there. He just wait there until he get a chance to go to Mindoro. And when he go to Mindoro, he finally got a chance to work in the Basnig, the fishing boat, that goes to Panay. And that fishing boat that goes to Panay, going back to Mindoro, is the one that he said he enjoyed the much because they would go to at sea for about 2 to 3 days, 2 to 4 days, going to Panay, and then they come back to Mindoro, with their fish. And sometimes they sell the fish right in Panay. And actually, my dad learned scream. My dad learned a one old man in Panay, in Arnis, Eskrima, in Panay. But it's hard. And my dad learned also from Mindoro. In fact, I I was intrigued, to the. This is a lot of PTK is gonna be upset when I said it, but I'm gonna say it because I need to open up my mind. Uh,
yeah,
the Mindoro Island and up to this baybayin ng Cavite. The ginunting bolo is common in Mindoro. I have
yeah.
old pictures on 1970 that was sent to me from by the guy from Mindoro, and it's both they're training arnis and shoot in Manila in 1970, and both ginunting sword, ginunting bolo, and you cannot deny the shape because it's clearly on the picture, even though it's a black and white. I have the photo. I will post it after we He thinks it, but I don't want to claim it that is Luzon. I'm just saying is also, also available in
Yeah.
Luzon.
No, no,
You know,
I've seen it. I've seen it because a lot of the settlers in Mindoro come from Timuca Tagalugan, like they have a Batangueño accent.
they're
That's
Tagalog.
why Kabayan Noli de Castro. That's why he sounds like that. He grew up
Yeah,
in Mindoro, but he sounds like a Batangueño, like very thick,
yeah.
very
Their
thick.
their intonation is sound like Batangas.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
even their thing, because I have. So that's the timeline that my dad went to Panay and then came back in 1950. 1950, my dad uh, joined the purse. I mean, before he leaves, everybody knows that my dad already practiced Arnis in Paete on 1945. After the war, my dad went away, and nobody know where he was. Even my grandfather don't know where he was, and all of his classmates is wondering if he's alive or not, because after the war, there's still so many Japanese in the mountain that killing people.
Yeah, obviously the most famous one is was it Onoda?
Anoda from in
Yeah,
yeah,
Hero Onoda is the most famous one, but there were a lot more.
yeah,
Basically, what would happen is people would go up in the mountains, they would never be found again. Oh
yeah.
no, and then Encanto sila. No, it was a Japanese person who
Yes,
killed
it
them.
is. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's right there. There's
yeah,
a and Sierra Madre is wide and big. Wide and really really mystery, mysterious mountain. So
yeah.
people lost over there. So for the longest time, that everybody thought that my dad is dead in the mountain by the Japanese that wandering around in the mountain.
Right.
So after 5 years, my dad surfaced. He came out, and my dad has a long hair like a woman, because when you are all the time in the fishing boat, that's what you have. Your hair is becoming long, you
Right.
know. And
You have no
he
barber.
yeah, he went home. He went home and thing. And 19 Paete start the Arnis tournament on 1920. To be exact, that I have, there's a three different date, but there's a 1920, 1923, and 1925. But I'm using the latest one, 1925, to be safe. I don't want to be answer but to the other master say, hey, he said it's 1925. So I'm using the latest one that I found. I found that 1925 to an old maestro before he died, which is my dad's sparring partner, which is Maestro Balahadya. Maestro, yeah, Maestro. You know, he is the one who told me that on 1925 is the first actually Arnis tournament, because he is also a student under the Doce Pares Maestro of the father of Maestro Moody Madrigal. He is the chief of police of Paete at that time. And my dad,
Moody's the one who trained Doy Baldemore.
yes, he trained also with him. Moody is the latest among the Doce Pares who came out. I don't even know that because my dad said that when he was training to all the brothers except Moody. And Moody
That was the 12 form that you posted quite a while back
is
when he was.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And and when I came out, we compare each other, and we practice the Corto Cerrada together, the Damputan, and we are actually in the same as range and the same sync. And this is 1998 when we start classing each other,
So
because our
you can't land on each other then if that's the case, if you're in sync. No
yeah,
way.
we are very in sync. He
Yeah,
locked
there's no
me, I
way.
escape. Yeah, he locked me, I escape. I lock him, he escape. And this is watched by many maestro and three of my students, because I brought three of my students with me. And up to those three students is with me up to this day. That's on 98. We go to the thing, and first we do in Largo, because that's how we do it, Largo. And then when we go to close, we cleanse right here, then we start flowing to lock and block. That's what the thing. He blocked, then he locked me, I escape, then I lock him, he escape. That's how it become very very easy nice to see Why? Because I can flow from one guy, from one lock to another to the guy that actually a son of my dad's maestro. You know, so I was very honored that he allowed me to do that. But then we went back on 2005. We brought another student and we spar, but he at that point he's already a little weak, and we cannot do the close, corto cerrado already. Then I already tell every escrimador in Paete before he died, study with the guy because I'm not here anymore. I would like to continue with the man, but I'm not here. You guys do it. But they let him die like that without, without anybody learn the art from him. Now, officially, this is the official. Unless there's another guy show up, I am the only sole person that know the system of 12 pares in Laguna.
The
You know,
12 form.
the 12 form. Yeah.
Right.
If anybody would go up, I will appreciate them. I will embrace them. The only thing is I like to comparison. We will do the same way as I did with the old man. You know, but the beauty of the
Because it flows into each other, like each counter for each form. Yeah.
he know exactly what I'm gonna do afterward, and I know exactly what he's gonna do because there's an opening that we only watch. There in every form there always have 6 opening, so you cannot go wrong. 6 opening that you can only see, and then as soon as he bring it down his weapon somewhere, I know that he's gonna go that way. Then I will close that. That's what I call block. I will block that. Yeah, and then I lock. That's why when I heard Sirada using the lock and block, I was so happy. You know, I was so happy, and I said, "Oh my God, the Sirada people do the lock and block." But when I see it, I just it's like a very big flower that very come up right there. I say, "Oh yeah, very happy." Then when they see the things become lanta,
Yeah, I
that's
understand. You were
I
bummed
lost.
out. You
Yeah,
were
I was.
bummed out. Yeah. How does that compare to because you're friends with Dan Medina? They have a lot of lock and block stuff with DeRobio. Do you
Uh,
like his stuff? It's
The
good, right?
Rubio is the Pido. Yeah, I saw it. His way is totally. There's similarity, but his way is one. He doesn't flow like me. That he escape and come up. He has particular technique. He drill with the sombrada. He does with sombrada block and thing, and then he go to lock, and then you counter it. He put you on lock and finish it. Our way, you're actually gonna put me on lock. We go cross, I lock you up, and then I allow you first. I'm not gonna let go. I'm not gonna go other technique until you figure out how to escape on that lock. Because I'm not teaching you if I'm just gonna lock you and then start from the number one. You see what we do? We start we start thinking, okay, how I'm gonna escape from it. Because if you just give up, you don't learn nothing. Because you can be put on that lock and you don't know how to escape. That means you're dead. So
Yeah.
your goal is to be able to escape to that lock, no matter how painful it was. And then if you realize that you can escape once they put the 100% lock already, then don't allow it to put you on 100% lock. You can recognize the movement, then counter it then before it becomes 100%. And when it's in 75, he's just setting up the lock, escape from it, and then move to the next one. That's how it came up. I respect Grandmaster Pido, and I like what they do, but it's not the same as what we do. Similar because there's luck also, but I don't know. It maybe they allow it to escape and then they continue. I never see that. I only see they go sombrada and he'll lock right here, boom up like then they start again. They start the sombrada again, and then they go lock again. Boom up. We don't do that. We cross. We start from the cross, or we go from the combination. And when we go to combination and we got close to each other, then one hold the hand. Then I'll escape on that. As soon as you hold my hand, I'll escape on that. I'll disarm you. I'll disarm you, lock you up. Then if you escape, I go back to lock because that's how it is. I in fact I do this with my student. 2005 or 2008 with the Tandang. I think I have a video out there on YouTube that doing the Cinco Terros with him, lock and lock. And then what? But since it come up from the side, it become also start from the Cinco Terros. Boom. It's similar but different. Now, what I teach to my student is the complete series of the 12, I mean the Relosteros, because that's what came from the Relosteros. That is the 12 pares. And the 12 pares is actually have 12 abanico double weapon and 12 sinawali double weapon. Sinawali is actually to understanding, because my dad is the one who told me about this. To my understanding, the sinawali is an intricate movement of lala. Tagalog word lala. You know what it means? Lala is the weaving. Lala.
You weaving as in yung the pattern of yung banig?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Or sawali. That
yeah.
is
Yeah,
Tagalog word for lala. That is the word.
right.
What is you doing? Oh, naglalala. It look like dance singing. No, that it means the word lala. It means the weaving. It's Tagalog for weaving. So that's how I understand it in the beginning. And my dad said it's actually between 1 to 4 count in one side. 1 to 4. If you started in 1 to 4, you're gonna be lost. Says the whole thing is to be on the other side, 1 to 4 first, and then in the sinawa, that's sinawali, because the beginning is the sinawali, is like papapak, 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 and then the 6 count, which is the now famous now, is actually right in the middle of the 12, because that is a 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. 1 2 3 in the bottom, 1 2 3. But this one is really 1 2 3 boom, 1 2 3 boom, 1 2 3 boom. It's number 4 actually, because it become two on this in each side, and that's the first lala. And we don't call it in English, so I cannot call it single sinawali like modern artists do, because if single sinawali in modern artists do is the abanico number 1 to us, which is the half moon strike from the head to the knee, hand to the knee, head to the knee, and then reverse is the knee to the head, and that's the difference. When I learned the doble armas is actually the second layer of the 12 pares. You have to learn Rolosteros first. You learn all of the systematized way from the everything is part of the clock. Orator, it means the hour. Yeah, the one hour. And then you have minutero, the minute hand. And then you have segundario, which is the second hand. Which is the second hand is your hand. And then you have now the rotación, which is the rotation of the clock, and then you have the oración, which is the every 6 count of the clock, because that oración is 6 o'clock and 12 o'clock. There's no,
Yeah,
that is oración, and there's also oración because it's based on the thing. It's 9 o'clock. Why is become oración first of all? People always saying that oración is only 6 o'clock. You go back. I grew up in church. This is why they call it oración. Okay. Back then, we have no clock in the whole town. Back in the Spanish time, there's no clock like in Europe that they have a big clock on the church that they sit and they ring. So actually there's a 24/7 sacristan or the bell guard, that there only the job on that day is every 3 hours will hit the bell, just to let the town is 12 o'clock, and 12 o'clock is 5 to 6 o'clock, 5 short and 1 long. Ting, ting, ting. 5 of those, ting, and then 6. Teng, it means 12 o'clock. And then the next one of those is 3 o'clock. It's only 3 count. Ting, ting, ting. That's 3. And then the next one of those is another 6, which is 6 o'clock. Yeah. And then they will hit it 5 long again, 5 short, and 1 long again. But because the Filipino knows that it's already dark, it's already 6 p.m. The other one is the sun is rising. Oh, it's 12 a.m. Actually, it's at 12 a.m. The sun is right there. But on 9 o'clock, that's another one that's 6. Boom. And it's at night. When it's at night, they only hit it 2. They only hit it 2 and 2 light. Why? Because to let the things, to let them sleep. So they will start at 12 o'clock. They will hit twice. Ting. But nowadays doesn't, because everybody has clock now.
Yeah, everybody's got this now.
That's correct. Back then, the things is only for those people on the lake, or in the mountain. So the bell will hit, and they know, oh, it's this time, at night. Because when I grow up, that was 1970s. We still does it at night at 12 o'clock. They will hit the bell twice. Ting, very short. Ting, and then that's it. That is 12 o'clock at night. That will not hit by 3. The next one will hit is 6 o'clock again. 6 o'clock in the morning. And then 3 o'clock. So the whole clock, that's why they call oracion. And oracion is every 3 hours. Yeah? Every 3 hours is oracion. And then it become to us.
What's great is like now it would become to us like, go ahead, sorry.
That's correct.
Yeah,
Mano.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
We're the same, right? See?
Yeah,
At 6 o'clock, everybody come home, no matter what you do, and bless to your parents.
Right.
At 6 o'clock, you have to stop what you're doing and kneel on the rice field and pray. At 6 o'clock, we used to stop in the mountain, whatever we're doing at 6 o'clock. No matter if you're walking home, you have to stop for a few seconds and pray. And because it was imposed to us by the old people, by my dad, by my grandfather, by my maestro, I grew up with those. Imagine you are eating dinner and you have to stop because the bell ring. You must, because you are accustomed to that. Right. That's why we don't eat 6 o'clock. We always eat 5 or 7. Not
right.
Either you eat 5 or 7. You don't eat 6 o'clock, or you eat after 6.
It's funny how like the whole corpus of knowledge and worldview is influenced by the clock system. Yes. Not only how you like arrange your life, when you plant, when you do your dinner, when you pray, but even when it comes to combat, you find out, we're not going to give secrets away here, but you find out where to place yourself, because that's the weakness, so that you can't get hit by the guy.
That's correct.
Because there's certain locations in the clock where I don't want to go over there, but you know what I mean.
That's why the secret is here. If you know the clock system, we know that we talk about.
Yeah.
And that's it. The position of the weapon, the position of the hand, the position of the foot is all clock. That's what the things right here.
There's particular weaknesses on a particular clock hand or angle where you're not going to get hit.
Yeah. It's no secret, but the things is how to put your timing in it. Again, right. It's a timing. It's a clock again. That's why when you come up, they hit, what they call is, you clock them. You clock them. You hit it. You clock them. It means
that's right.
It's not because you come up. So the next one of those, when you go oracion, then there's what they call that, after oracion, they have the circulacion. Circulation, those is what you have to really a whipping strike, whipping strike on that circulation. And that's just based on the clock. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So it means you're really, your hands is getting used to all of those powerful hit. And we call that in Laguna, labtik. Labtik. All of those, yeah, pitik, Pitik is just a hand, but when you complete the rotation, it's labtik. If you pick it like that, the witik or the watik or whatever the Bisayan use is the same as the abaniko to us, which is pitik.
A lot of the Austronesian languages I notice are very, very descriptive.
Yeah,
Sa kuyukut. Like
yeah.
there's no, I could never translate that in any kind of Western language I can think of. It's too
Well,
deep.
no, it's too
Huh?
deep.
Huh?
But yes, but everybody says, "What is kuyukut?" I don't know. What is kuyukut? Oh my God, that's your ass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Excuse
know.
my French. But
Yeah.
that's how, then the last one is the combination. And that's how when you learn combination, you learn it from largo to medio, largo to corto. And that's how it become corto largo. When I was practicing largo corto, corto largo, and then corto cerrada. First you learn corto largo. It means going from long range to go to the close range, get out again. Those is what majority of people in Luzon use it called agaw sisid. Agaw sisid is they hit it. It's like a bunch of army walking in and getting out on the fly, hit and out, hit and out. That's what agaw sisid is. That's the same thing as fighting. You're doing stick fighting or you're doing boxing, whatever. You move in just to hit, 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 and get out, and then wait again. For the right
Because
time.
what it's stealing a strike without you getting hit. That's because
Without
ago
getting,
means to steal. Yeah, it's like you got
it's
you got you got one in without
yeah.
you getting smacked in the face yourself.
Yes,
Right.
to compare them is like the illustrisimo lutang. Their type of things. You step back, hit and then step back and then go back to hit. That's exactly the same in term of the timing. But of course, we don't use the technique the same. We use different there because there's so many way to go. Um, but the beauty of it is it's not only used by one region. It's actually a universal pattern that's used by every escrimador, but they name it different because it probably in some form is they lose the translation, you know, already when they go to another place. So we don't want to shut it down that they just made it up. There's some form that they made it up, but there's some form that they get it from somebody or they see it to somebody and then they copy it.
Right.
And it's nothing wrong with that because when you have watching, you are learning by watching, and it's okay to pick up from other people, because you progress. It's progressive. All of the art is progressive. It's a constantly learning something new every day. You know,
And essentially because of your knowledge of this, your very extensive knowledge, not only the Timog Katagalugan systems, but obviously there's a lot of cross pollination with the rest of the Katagalugan during because there was always alliances within the Proto Katipunan and Katipunan from Laguna and Bulacan and all these places. So that's why you did the translation of Placido Yambao's book, and so basically you're showing the hidden secrets concerning that because you know the form of Tabak ni Bonifacio correctly. Because there's a
yeah.
lot of stuff that they didn't really explain in that book at all. The
No,
sequence is off. The
yeah.
sequence is off. They
There's
didn't even name some of the moves right.
there's a lot of them that if and like I said, if you read the book and you translate the book, I would welcome to read your book. I would welcome to look at it. But when I first look at it and I look at the pictures and the word that they use, it doesn't match.
Yeah,
It doesn't match to the photo.
I think he did that intentionally.
I
That's
think
just
so
my
too.
take. I
Yeah,
think that's my take.
to redirect the reader somewhere else. It's like the eighth puesto, the 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 the, ab- the the what they call that, the año,
The eight positions.
the eighth position, the año, is actually the eighth position is only seven position. Eighth position with with seven strike. That's a siete colores position there.
It's this that siete right there. Yeah, yeah.
Because
Let's not go in any further because I don't want to give no secrets away.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
if you
I want to
go
get in
back
trouble.
to
I
it,
want to get in trouble.
man, if you go back to it, this is already buhat araw. Yeah, you go down right here. This is already tagang, she said tagang alanganin. You
Here.
know, yeah, from here tagang alanganin. Then you come from this side. This is already sabo,
Yeah.
and this is
Salok Saboy. And then
yeah,
there.
this is the sabo. This is the bunot kaluban.
Right.
Or bunot kaluban or aldabi sa taas.
Yeah.
Yeah, aldabi sa taas first, and then you go from this thing right here. This is the sablay. Yeah, sablay, and then you have the vertical. The vertical actually in Yambao is a reverse like that, using the back of the blade.
Yeah, it's a slap of the blade, not the actual sharp end.
Yeah.
It's the flat the back, right, like that hitting you.
Well, I see it because based on the based on Yambao's position.
I'm right here. I'm just getting a bagarote.
Yeah. Based on Yambao's position, his knuckle is actually up is actually facing down. Facing upward.
Yeah,
If
so
you
it's this part that's hitting. It's this
no,
part.
look, yeah, this one, the back of the blade, the
Yeah.
ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So, because I watch the things very careful. But it's amazing. Why? Because if I use that on the turn, it's a cut.
Yes.
So we come
Because
up on the side, boom.
because
So
your natural inclination is that turn of the wrist to slice
that's correct. When
that
I
way.
look at it and then turn, because it's the whole thing is coming up. So because our vertical is the uh the aldabis itaas is our vertical, and those is taga sa misla. As soon as I hit you down, I will hit your feet, because if I miss your shoulder or I miss your head, I will go directly to the pit.
You'll try to hit it all the way to the floor.
That's right.
Yeah.
All the way to the floor, because I'm not gonna run. I'm not gonna go away until I get my mission. My mission is to hit you from top to the bone to the floor, from top to from head to toe. That's my mission on the vertical, because that is a very very committed strike.
I'm really looking forward to your translation because I want to compare it to what I learned because I'm from that region. You
Yeah,
know what I mean? And I learned that as a kid, and I agree with you. The book I think was a misdirection.
it's
I don't
misdirection.
I'm, I don't think. Don't get me wrong. Of course, he knew what he was doing. He's kind of like the guy for his
Yeah.
era, kind of like the Billy Badass.
Yeah.
But he didn't give away his secrets at all. You have to be inducted for you to understand it.
No, no, no. If you look back, I read the whole video. I read the whole book. I read the whole book, and I try to dissect it, try to break it down to a level that I would understand it, why they make it that way. And then I read all of the strike. You'll be surprised. He named all the strike 13 without the truss, because on the truss is 12 truss, or 12 10 truss and 2 dagger slots. Yeah, so that's what it is. That's what it become 12. And 13 of the the sword slots. That's not including the truss. And there's a 4 truss on the sword.
To me, this is my interpretation of it. Okay, the Placido Yambao book essentially was a syncretization of different Central Katagalugan systems that he learned. That was
Thank you.
Cinco Tero style of basically like Central Tagalog, maybe even some Pangasinan area, some kind of close to that region. Um, and he also has the shit, but that's 7. The, that this 7 that I'm talking about, the one that you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I'm showing you how it looks like.
Yeah. He has 1 7 in there. which is come from Batangas.
Right.
The 7 that he used is a Batangas 7, not my 7.
He's well traveled. He's well
Yeah,
traveled.
the Cinco Terros that he used is three variation. Three variation of the Cinco Terros he used. He has two variation of Cuatro Cantos. He has two. He has one variation of the six. They call it Disaes. Disaes abecedad numerado. Yeah, 6 numbers only. There's he has one, and then he has 1-7, which is the Batangas. Then he has 1-8, 1-9. On the 7, he has 12. Oh no, 7, and then on number 8 is 12. He has no number 8. He
You
has no
you
even
you
number of
you
8.
you actually did it. My mind was open when you did a video about it.
Yeah.
You
He
did you
has
did a you did a video in YouTube that's kind of like the bit not the pasimono, the
yeah.
abecedario of that. And I kind of understood. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what it is, because there's you steal a thrust in there. You steal a thrust. Tago eh.
Mm-hmm.
Nakaw ng sundot. You know.
There's
Yeah.
so many there that you'll enjoy it if you have a partner that they understand the whole thing. Because I right now I'm on number 6 of the abacada, and man, the counter is incorporated to the sequence. It's like it's not even numbered. The counter is not numbered. It's just there. You know, they number the block, but they don't number the counter.
He's a genius guy, man.
Yeah. So you'll be very careful when you are reading the book, because it's really gonna put you somewhere else if you don't understand it. You know,
And I
and
think that was his intention. That was their intention,
yeah,
because
and
they come from
footwork,
a Masonic kind of thing.
yeah, and footwork has to be precise, because the footwork is like I said, the clock. If the footwork is wrong, the timing is wrong. So that's what the whole thing is. And then he has on 9 is 9, and then on 10 is 10, and 10 he don't use dagger.
Oh, we gotta say hi to this guy,
Who's that?
Gatpuno. Joe Apostol said, daming na mga secrets para noon dating panahon tinatago in plain sight. Joe Apostol is Apostol Tuhod of Maximo Viola season.
Fabiola, yeah. Hey Joe, what's up? What's up? Yeah,
Yeah,
Joe,
so yeah, it's just yes, that's how it was. Everything was secret.
very good.
Everything was hidden.
Yeah, I'm a very fond of Grandmaster what do you call that? Grandmaster Ray Galang. I really love to see his drill. You know, because he put it on the book. It's well written, that book, and the drill that he put in there is beautiful. But I want to see it in action. With the two people is doing it, because that is a well written book. I'm not saying it's translated. I was saying it's well written, very well explained, and things like that. But I have to admit, there's, maybe some of the things only is maybe only 30% of Placido Yambao in there. You know, it's not that I'm putting down the book. I mean, it's beautiful. Some of the intention is good. You know, because I was really trying to compare it as I learning it, because I have the book and I have the other book. So
Even his Sinawali book, he had so many secrets.
it's
I
beautiful.
I, I don't, I don't want to let's not. I don't want to piss him off, because I
Now
respect the hell out of the man.
he's very easy, cool guy.
He's a
He's
cool guy.
very, yeah, he's one of the person that I believe he won't get pissed up so easy,
Now, yeah,
because
I'm sorry. We don't mean to offend his family or his circle or his friends. It's just that's how it was. Everything was kept secret back in the day.
yeah,
Even now.
we become friends since 2005, together with the Grandmaster Toper. and I think I respect him so much. You know, I'm just like I
Me
said,
too.
he's well well spoken. You know, he spoke very well, and he's really calm. You don't hear him raise his voice, and even in writing, when he messaged me on text or email, you can easily hear it. There's no no
Enmity. There's
there's
nothing.
no tone of pretension.
No.
So it's genuine, you know.
He's a cool guy. He's a cool guy. Even when he's interviewed by Dean, like he's just like a bodhisattva almost.
Yeah, and you know, and the good thing about it is he would tell you what he want to tell you.
Right.
He's not afraid to tell what you know he want to tell you, and that's why that's the guy that you want to sit down and listen,
Right.
because you don't want to miss it whatever he has to
Gut
say,
gut
because you
gut
can learn.
puno. Believe it or not, we've been going a solid 90 minutes now.
No way.
So don't cut it off. Let's not cut it short. I maybe man, because you only gave less than half. We haven't even gone to like when you became a seaman
No, no,
and met your wife. We kind of did that during the prelim
the prelim,
of
yeah,
when you did the sailor. So let's just kind of change a little bit of
yeah. Change
gears
gears.
right now.
So we got the Moro Moro sides done. Oh, you know, we got this Moro Moro side done. Let's work on something else. Uh, let's see. Travel.
You want to talk? Yeah, you want to talk about travel? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, travel. My first traveling is actually Manila. When I was looking for a job in Manila, I you know I got a part time job in Manila Garden Hotel, which is an EDSA right there. Right across the EDSA is the quads. Remember the quad that's circle, the quad, you know, right there. And
In EDSA? I don't
yeah,
remember the name.
oh, you don't remember the quad center right across the street of Manila Garden Hotel. Now is Dusit.
I don't
There's a
know.
yeah. I was holed up over there.
Oh, na hold up kayo.
Oh yeah, I was holed up over there because I'm new in Manila. I was holed up right there in Quad. And I have my small bag with me. They thought I have a lot of money. They don't realize I have only 27 pesos on my pocket. Pamasahe, pauwi.
And then back in the day, it was still BLT Co, right? What you would
Yeah,
take?
BLTV company, yes.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's gone now. That's gone now.
it's gone. Yeah, I was holed up over there, and they asked me to give my bag, and I said why? Because he said if you don't give it to us, you know there's two of them, you know we'll stab you. And I told them, I said, don't stab me, I'll give you my bag, but I don't have anything in it, only dirty brief. I said, I don't want to piss you up, you know. I heard Manila is once you give them a fake change, they will come back to you, hunt you, and make you eat the chain. So I was holed up over there and depended. My first depend against snipe in Manila is in Quad. It's and then travel again. When applying for a job, I was getting my visa right in the U.S. Embassy. I took first my NBI clearance and then go directly to U.S. Embassy to get my visa to go to United States. And there's a pile of rocks over there waiting. It's like longer than a mile, I guess. Those rocks, and I don't realize that rocks is $50 each. Oh, 50 pesos, 50 pesos per rocks, and I crossed maybe 25 rocks. So I went to the front because nobody there. I'm by myself. I'm by myself to the gate. And all of a sudden, this two guy came up to me and he said, uh 25 25.50, how much is that? And I said that's 500 something. Yeah, I said, oh no, you miscount. I said that's not 500, that's a lot of money. And I said, oh, for what is that? I said that's you cross, that's our we call it they don't call it gig yet, that's our business, that's each one of those is reserved. I said, "Oh shit, reserve." And it means they're already asking me to pay them. And I said, "No." I said, "I don't have the money. I only have $27 to go back home." 27 pesos. I always dollars. I don't know why. 27 pesos. Kasi ang pamasahe back then is from Manila to Santa Cruz is 17 pesos. And then to Santa Cruz to Paete is 5 pesos. Then if I give the money to him, what I have? Nothing. I have,
You can't go home. You can't go
I
home.
can go home. I'm going to walk 113 kilometers. I'm going to be 1 week on the street.
Believe it
So
or
I
not,
said,
I've done that. I've walked distances that far because I do ultras before I got fat.
yeah. No, I put the guy. I put the guy in front of U.S. Embassy.
So what happened?
Oh, he pulled up a knife on me, and you know the bar has the Manila the U.S. Embassy has the bar gate, right? You know,
Yeah, yeah.
like Rejas.
Oh yeah,
Reyes. Yeah, Reyes like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Boom. The guy's
yeah.
going to I put his hand, put the knife right on the Reyes and reach it to the other hand and I disarm it there. So the guy is actually his hands is inside the Reyes. And then the other guy that will come back with the small knife. And I have the bigger knife now that the guy is holding.
So let me explain to this people because they're not gonna understand if they're Western viewers, right?
Yeah.
I know because I prior to me getting my papers to go to the U.S., I had to do several trips in the embassy that took like a multi-year process, two
Yeah.
years or so,
Yeah.
back and forth. The rejas is like kind of like prison bars. The
Yep.
gate has like kind of like you see how his chairs are right there. They has like this. So what you're saying is you put his hand right where those bars are, and that's how you disarmed him.
Disarm him from there. And then when the guy is trying to run, I have the big knife already. But at that moment, the security, which is happened to be Filipino, the Filipino American, I would say, you know, the security is military, U.S. military Filipino American that speak Tagalog in there in the embassy. There's two of them try to stop the commotion right outside. And then they said, okay, the Filipino said that, stop that, it says tigil kayo, ganyan. And then they start asking me where, give me the knife. So I give the knife, and then those two run, and they came back. Actually, those thugs came back with more people. So the
Wow.
the Filipino guys already allow me to come because I'm the first one on the line. So let me inside the gate already. So they cannot touch me. But they're waiting for me on the other side because the gate the exit is right on the other side, right on Mirador Hotel.
Right.
And when I go out, when I went out there, thank God the Filipino guys that who stopped the commotion is the security guard on that exit. He called the taxi for me because he knows that those thugs is waiting for me on the other side. They're not done. They're mean business when they attack me there. So that's my second things right there. And the third scenario for me is right on San Andres Bukid, right there in the market itself. I was eating lunch. After I eat lunch, I get hold up over there too. Again, three guys who hold up me there, but one is a lookout. One is the lookout. Two is right on me. And after I ate, I give them my money because I'm afraid that I might get stabbed. But the guys want my bag, which might pull up my papers and everything. I'm processing my Siemens book and my things, everything. I'm going to the ship already, to the Rain Marine, Rain Maritime, and right there, just next to the San Andres Bukid, and that's what my second thing. So when I travel there, I'm very careful because there's so many thugs in the street. I mean, it's nice, since I'm small stature at the times, I'm not this big. I'm easy target because I
You were
like
you were
to.
you were you were much thinner. You're saying back then.
Yes, yeah. I'm much thinner. You know what it is when you're guapo in the Philippines? You are a kursa na dahin. You know that.
Yeah. So translate, when you're thin, like girls just they like you.
When
You
you
know what I mean? They go for you.
when you're good looking, that's what happened. People love you. Either they punch you to make sure that you get deformed.
That's why I don't want you to be offended when I told you you look like Edgar Mortis, because he's handsome. He's just chubby.
Yeah.
My dad kind of looks like him. That's why, like, when I see you, like, I'm like, man, it kind of remind me of my father.
Are you kidding? I'm gonna be offended by Edgar Mortis. It's my idol. My pledge of love cannot be broken. Remember him when he was teen idol back then?
Yeah. So now that
He's
now
a
that you
funny
gave
guy.
us some of your exploits where you got mugged, can you like show us like part of that? Because we were talking about the bolero tradition. Give us like the outcrop of that, which is the harana. Give us a sample.
Sample you like?
Yeah. You have a guitar?
You like guitar or you like things? I have so much guitar in here. You know.
So
See, when
there
you
we
when
go.
you are when you're when you are going to Hirana, it's ang ang yung gandang nakakabighani. See, that's the same.
Yeah, it's really bolero music. I don't care what people say. It's just a slowed down version of it, slow to a
Slow
crawl, like
number.
a like the
Yeah,
blues, like the blues.
it's actually when there's going to Sariaya, Quezon, Mauban, Quezon, that part of Quezon, the song is faster. They like fast song, you know.
Right, right. They the tempo and the time signature is just a little
Yeah,
bit different. Yes,
yeah.
it's a bit
It's a
quicker.
Haranista. It's like when you come up from, but in Katagalugan area, which is the Laguna, Rizal, close to Manila, their Harana is really small lullaby.
Uh, you know,
Mhm.
um, uh, go ahead.
Okay.
No, Gadpono. I'm getting a lot of hate messages from maybe I think one of them is your student. Um, I'm getting a lot of hate messages. They're like, "Hey, hey, Julius, stop! Hayaan mo si Gadpono magturo ng sikreto. Sayang." That's what I'm doing here, man. He's giving us the
Who's
secret.
that?
He's giving us the secrets of the tradition, the culture. Because it's not just fighting all the time. When
The
they had
culture?
downtime and when they were done, yeah, when they were done
No,
planting the crops, this is what they would do at night. Sometimes if they go for like the girl that they like, you know, and maybe an Eskrima fight happened after that, fighting over a
most of
girl.
the time,
Yeah.
your sound or your something in your sound that
The,
making it static every time
my
you
my
talk.
sound, my sound.
Yeah, there's a static. Yeah, every time you
Hold
talk,
on a
you,
second.
you can you can hear my. I have static on my sound.
No, no, no.
The
It
audience can
might it
check.
might be.
Can you hear my sound? Have static?
I can't see your video, but I can hear your sound very well.
You have, yeah, yours
Is it
has a
cutting
static
off?
every time you talk.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me fix that. Let me try to go back.
Inday ng buhay ko, ikaw ay nasaan? Inagaw sako'y buhay humuhukas. Saan kaya ngayon ikaw ay matatagpuan kapag di ka nakita? Ako'y mamamatay. Yan ang Tagalog.
That's
Okay, let's go
wonderful.
back.
I'm sorry. I'm
Sample
sorry if
yun.
example. Yeah, I'm so sorry that my connection is not up to par. Let me try to.
I don't know if it's maybe only me hearing it. Maybe the other can hear it also.
No. I
Yeah,
can. Can you hear me now? I'm back. I'm back.
I can hear you. I can hear you. You're back, but the static is still there.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
The
Yeah, it's
static
cool.
is still here. Let me try to get closer to my modem. How about now?
Oh, good. That was good. Yeah,
How about
it's
now?
okay. Let me hear.
Yeah, much better. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's much better. You know, let's talk about the
Much better.
other master of Luzon,
Go ahead.
because there's so many times that there's so many maestro in Luzon that is not that is not well exposed, and that's what we
Yes.
want to do. I want to I want to convince all the maestro in Luzon to be exposed to the FMA instead of hiding to their house. I want them to go outside the house and start teaching the art. You know, which is that's one of the reasons why the Garimont Arnis International is convincing all of the maestro to start teaching. You know, their
Maestro. How
particular style,
about let's
not the
let's
Garimont art.
mas, get pono. Let's log out. Let's log out and then log back in because you're getting choppy. So I'm gonna send you the link again.
I am
We're
getting
gonna
choppy.
Yeah, you're getting choppy. So I'm gonna close you out and then just click on that link again, okay? Hold on, guys. Hold on a second. Hopefully that didn't cut off our interview. Darn. Am I in trouble? Am I in trouble with Alex Ursha over here? Lagot sa akin si paring Julius. Why? Awit ko'y dinggin, bintana mo'y buksan, pati na bituin, tila naghihintay. Kailan ba mutya? Hmm. I don't know why he's not back on. Um, oh, there he is. There he is. There he is. Hold on. Much better. No, you're back. You're back. No, no, you're good.
I'm good. I look like I'm become dark because I
Nag,
moved.
well, I gotta address these people. Nagsumbong ka daw kasi. I didn't even mention his name. You see, that's the thing. Now you're guilty. You gave yourself away. I didn't give your name away.
Oh boy, you got in trouble.
Yeah, I he's in trouble. I'm allowing you to share your secrets without any kind of you know without of any interruption, and
Interruption.
they're complaining. Pasalamat kayo sa akin.
Okay, let me
Uh,
go this way. Here we go.
so so because we're just having giving them a flavor of the different topics. You went over your personal history, at least the first third of your life. You went
Mhm.
over when you got mugged.
Mug.
Let's give him a taste of the esoteric. Let's give him a taste of the um,
Okay, let me.
maybe it's okay that it's dark like that. So to give it a little bit of mystery. I mean, it'd be cool if you have a little bit more light, but maybe this is okay.
No, this is good.
Yeah,
And yeah, well, I could get the lights. Hold
me
on,
too. Me too.
I could get some lights. See, there we go. Now,
I'll be right back.
go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
There you are.
Here we go. I put the lights in. Mhm.
Yeah,
I need to. Here we go.
perfect. So we
Tandang.
get yeah. So Joe is basically asking us now because we gave the viewers a taste of everything. First third of your life, your engagement when you got held up a couple times. Now let's give him a taste of the occult and the esoteric aspect. Hilot and kulam, Joe's saying. Maybe you should do a primer on that because we don't need people to get into trouble getting possession or any kind of stuff when they explore
Yeah.
that kind of topic.
You see, okay, let's talk about the things first. First of all, a lot of other FMA don't believe in anting-anting, so it's hard to talk about it, not to be what they call that insulted or things. Forgive us if we're gonna talk about this. I would like to already apologize, before we even get there. Okay, anting-anting is a given, arts that either you like it or don't, you know. And if you like it, then we'll enjoy what this conversation is. And if you don't like it, please forgive us. We will go to this topic anyway. Okay, I was introduced to the art of this on 1980, no, 1979. I was really not interested because it's like I said, Dad, give me everything you know about Arnis. I just don't want anting-anting, nor I don't want anything to do with
Oh, did he cut off? Oh no, you cut off, man. Yo, jinxes us. The gods don't want them to learn. The daemon has got us, bro. Oh, bro, come on. Darn. Are you there? Are you there? Can you hear me?
no cut off kayo. Oh, no,
Yeah,
you cut
yeah,
off. I cut off ako.
yeah. Nakat off po kayo. Yeah.
Okay, let me
So, so
what you want me to do?
no, no, no.
Resign
Just
it?
continue. No, you're good. No, you're good. You're good. No. Yeah, I want to talk about it, but it seems like the Dios Diama don't want us. There it is. Yeah, you're good. You're good. So let's continue. 1979,
All right. So
because you were
1979, I
yeah.
was introduced to it. My dad took me to an old man, and in Lumban, Laguna, which is the a maestro of my maestro, a very old man. Okay, and he showed me. It's like everybody else. What you see in video that came up, he himself. I don't believe in it. I don't believe in anting. Remember, I was a kid. The old man came, look at the coconut, and he said, "Son, what you see in the coconut?" And I see in the coconut, I said, "I see mura or bunga, the fruits, the coconut, the green coconut." And I said, "How how hard do you think to get the coconut out?" I climbed the coconut before when I was a kid. With the and you know how hard it is to take down the coconut. Just one coconut is hard. And he said that how much coconut you want? And I said, "Oh, I like to get two because I just give number. Give me number. How much coconut you want?" Two. The old man. This is right on my eye. Swing a bolo right to the coconut. This is the coconut is about 25 feet or maybe 10 feet, 15,000, 15 feet above, which is you cannot barely throw a rocks in it. The old man swing the bolo. He came to the bolo. He swing the bolo in the air and coconut fall. No wind, no nothing. So how would you explain that? So I said, "Oh my God, my body, my muscle is shaking." It's like when you are excited at the same time scared. That's how I feel when I see that coconut fall right in front of me. My dad get the coconut, cut it, give it to me, drink it. And then now we will teach you how to become believer of this anting-anting. And I'm very skeptical until 1981. I'm very skeptical. I still don't believe. He says, I don't know, there's something in it. Maybe it's, thing up, 1981. So it means after 3 years, I still don't believe. I still don't believe. But they want me to get all of this. I collected all of the things that they want me to collect. And I did collect it. I collected has to be a cross root. Whenever you find a cross root, you have to find three of those. I dig in the mountain trying to find a cross connected root, from the tree, any kind of tree, just cross. You need three of them. And I found it. And then after that, he said, find me an old, below 1960 penny, or, the bronze penny, the Philippines, the old one. 1960 below. And so it has to be 1960 because 1960 is all pure bronze or pure things. So you cannot mix it up with other metal. You need pure bronze. So that's how I find it. Actually my mom helped me to buy it. We got three, and then we went to the things. I don't know how to draw. And he showed me a handkerchief that all of the handwriting in it. In fact, I have it with me. If you guys don't mind, I'll show it to you. This is my original, and I have it with me that I drew it. Back then. Hold on. All right, I'm back. This is my libreta of all of my oracion, and I'm planning to write. I'm planning to transfer this into a booklet. I'm gonna write it in exact handwriting. Transport right here with this because this is gonna be things. This is the book that I wrote. That my dad wrote. This is my dad handwriting. because my dad collected this and then passed it to me. This is the pañuelito that I draw my orasyon with. You see, this is my handwriting. Okay, let me see. There we go, right here. This is it right here. It's far from you guys, but if you guys understand, the whole thing is right here. And you know how it's writing. It's writing in each corner with orasyon in it.
Right in the four corners, yeah.
In the four corner, and then the same right here. So I'm not gonna get it closest because I don't want to give away the content of this pañuelito. This pañuelito actually is 1979. But look how it's look like brand new, never touched, never used, because it's been kept to this libreta. It's been kept. I have the one. I'm trying to get one of my son to get one, and this is his. This is his. I'm not kidding. This is handwriting by one of my son, which is Mike.
Is that Michael Eugenio?
That's
your
correct.
son? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the right time for this, because he has to be finished. It cannot be complete until it cleanses. Has to be cleansing. You know, this my son is somehow the bad spirit hate him, so I need to give him a protection. He's got all of this bad luck on this bad spirit, and I'm cleansing him. I'm fighting every month to make sure that he is protected. I send all of my aura to him, make sure that he is protected. Believe it or not, this is one thing. This is not claim. Before Mike fire on the house, I gave Mike warning. I said that guy, that spirit in your house is afraid. That you might able to kill him. And I told Mike. I said, how are you? I always call Mike at the time, and this is Mike can easily tell you what I go. I don't tell him. I don't want to scare him, but I told him, I said, how are you, Mike? Because I'm receiving some message from Mike. From the what do you call it, the sugo. I sent somebody in there in form of spirit to watch over him. Imagine, before the fire, I already tell Mike, be careful. Something up. That he has to be careful. And few days later, they got into a fire, the whole house. And that's the packs. That's the packs. And I'm not what do you call that? I don't telepathy, mental telepathy. No, it's really direct to me. They reported to me that this is gonna happen. And actually, I have in this. I don't want to scare some of my student and I call them family. I don't want to scare them. When I'm around to their area and I'm by myself, I start doing the ritual, and I'm putting coins all over their place. Using American penny, not the dime, the penny only. The penny that US sell is pure bronze, and that's what we use. And we use that for healing. We use that for killing the bad spirit or the bad aura in there, and to cleanse the house. We use them. We will pray them, and that's become a carrier of the protection to the house. My house, this house that I'm been in, when I bought this house, this one is possessed. These are 3 people in there that living in there. And I make a deal that if I'm home, I want them out. And if we are home, I want them out. But if I'm not home, I want them in to protect the house. My wife keep telling me to get the what they call that, the protection, the one that have security come up, house security, the one
House
that
alarm.
House alarm. Yeah, that was the word.
Yeah.
House alarm. I've been living here in this house for 21 years now. I refuse to get the house alarm because I have an alarm in here. I have an alarm in here. And that is the only thing. I cannot do a lot of things because I refuse to do it. But to protect my family, I would do everything. And I'm not I'm not I'm not gonna demonstrate how to cut my arm and not getting cut. I'm not gonna demonstrate how to shoot a gun and not getting shot. But I'm fair believer of protection. Protection to my family, protection to my
Spiritual protection. Spiritual
thank
protection.
yeah. And not the thing, because if I could prevent it, okay, so it's gonna tell me that, oh, you're gonna be careful. You have gonna, your friend is gonna be in an accident. And they don't tell you the detail what accident is gonna be. But if you give him a little bit of warning, they could easily, stay away from that accident before it happened. And I wish, it's like I said, I wish I know exactly when I when somebody, when the spirit, when the sugo tell me that Mike is gonna be in danger. I I called Mike. Actually, I talked to Mike. I called to Mike. Say, how are you? I wanna talk to you. I'm not telling him what's gonna happen, but I actually call him or message him to make sure that he is okay, because I have this message. And after I think Mike posted something that his house got in fire, but they're all safe, and that's what I really, it's a relief. It's a relief to me that knowing that they're all safe, but the house is not livable. And that is one only of, I think it's better. There's more. There's many things that I know people. When one of my students, actually two of my students gonna die. There's a sugo that came to me and he said that they cannot help it. It's their time. It's their time, and all I can do is cry here because I cry for my family. I know exactly. But they don't tell me when. They just message me that it's gonna happen. They don't tell me exactly what date or time. They're just telling me that's gonna happen within this range of the time. And those is true. Those is true. But I don't know about, the anting that I want to pass it on to my student is a protection. And actually, that's really work. It's not supernatural that I'm gonna be Thor, or I'm gonna be Batman. I'm gonna be Batman, because I don't want to be, because once you put yourself on that position, then you are fighting against the will of God.
Yeah.
You know, you wanna go on the side of the God. You wanna, if you're a believer, you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, no against the other one. And because if you go against the other one, then you sold yourself to devil. And guess what? You are no, after this life, you are nowhere to go, only to hell. And that's what it is. I wish to leave it that way. I said my piece, and I already said the things on my anting, and it's up to the audience if they believe it or not. Uh, Mike, he's alive. She knows what happened to him, and I communicated with him. I warned him many times before it even happened. And I call them. They're all my son, especially him, because that's very dear to me. You see, I wear his clothes, tandang. it's one thing, to become a student, but to me, once to become a student and become too close to me, you're my family, and I will protect you whatever I could, whatever I know how to protect, and that's how I was. That's how I am to everybody. But if you become my enemy, I'll be the worst enemy you will ever had, because that's, I fight back. Either where you want to fight, I fight back. It's not gonna be easy for you to just kill me or anything else. I've been to the worst and worst, to the worst of worst, and I've been to the top of the world, I believe. I become to, I came from I start from the lowest dishwasher, to the top of the line when I was working. It means I experience everything, and I swallow my pride just to become one hell of a good chef. Because it's I don't get there if I don't swallow my pride. I suck it in, whatever. If I work with Italian chef, I work with German chef. All of this European chef is, I'm sorry, they're all like Chef Ramsay, if you know what I'm talking about. You know, those is what the type of person, what the chef I work with. But you know what? I suck it in. Why? First, I'm a fighter. Second, I'm a good learner. And three, I have a purpose. The reason why I stuck in. I want to learn their knowledge. I took every test to become executive chef with no sweat. Why? Because I have the knowledge. I'm saying is I don't work hard. I work hard for it because but it's a skill that I acquired from the chef that I work with. I don't go to school in culinary, but you know what? I teach 6 years in Le Cordon Bleu College of Culinary Art as an executive chef. That says something. I'm only second year high school in the Philippines, but here in America, I become a chef instructor. Where you see that? It means skill. Tell skill is more important than just a certificate, and I proved that so many times. I become a manager in the hotel, open so many hotels and open so many restaurants. For what? Because of the skill that I have. And part of it is anting-anting because I have the charm. It's not charm that people like me. No, I have this confidence on me, and people, the spirit guide me how to become, what do you call that? To become on the right time and the right place. It's amazing what guidance can do to you. You know, I, I was attacked many times here in the U.S., but I don't really physically attack. People is attempting to attack me at work, in school. I was, I was getting trouble, by an employee. All of those I escaped. Why? Because I was what do you call that? Warned. I was pre-warned, so I could think something, how to go about it. It's amazing. People said that how it's worked for you. This supernatural thing is not supernatural. It's a belief. It's actually um, it's nothing different when the people from South Caribbean than the Voodoo people, the Cuarandisimo in Spanish. You know, there's nothing different on those Voodoo people that they believe in spirit that they can expulse away the spirit. There's the same belief, but the way the Filipino do it is in three different forms. There's a healer, and that's me. There's a fighter, that's not me because I don't use it for fighting. And then there's a killer, and that's not me also.
Mambabarang.
Mambabarang, yeah,
Yeah.
mambabarang, mangkukula, manggagamot, and the mediator. I am the mediator. I would hold a person. If you are being barang, I will hold the person. I will connect to that barang person, and I will ask for forgiveness and then let you free. And that's hard. Why? Because most of the time I suck it in the negative vibes of that magbabarang.
It's called a sumbalik.
Yeah.
That's called a sumbalik, where you get afflicted by
Hmm. And
whoever you healed, it
and that's
goes
why
to
I,
you.
that's why I have to protect myself.
Right.
This I don't bring this with me. When my mother passed away, this is on 1992. Oh no, 1999. That's the only time that he gave me that. My sister said that this is yours, according to my mother. I said I don't want that, because anting-anting is one thing. If you want to be rich, you don't want anting-anting on you. because you would never go ahead. You can live comfortably, but you would never be rich. You would never make a lot of money because that's against to their belief. Come up. And me, I want to be rich. I'm old now, but I still want to be rich. Well, I'm still hoping to hit the lotto. Anyway, I want to stop that there. I hope the
Yeah,
people
me too. It's getting late over there, but
yeah,
we gave him a good prelim, and we're
yeah,
gonna make this a multi-parter.
yeah. I want everybody to excuse my introduction of that part, and hopefully I don't offend you, because it's not meant to offend. It's meant to educate.
What the hell happened? Wow, we that's so odd. I didn't click close to him, but it closed on itself. Um, I guess basically the spirits just allowed us just to tell what they wanted to be told. It's like he was his last words were, "I don't mean to offend. It's just for education, essentially." Wow. So there you go, bro. That's the esoteric side of FMA. We're gonna try to make this a multi-parter, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. Episode 125 is a very special one. Don't think about it in terms of supernatural, a different just corpus of knowledge, body of knowledge that we have in the Filipino way, the old way. Thank you.